Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
All right. I'm excited. Okay. Are you good? Still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, very interesting. This has shown up.
It's not interesting. We know exactly what it's from.
Anyway. Okay. So, I wanted to talk about career. Oh.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you were thinking of what to say, and I was like, I have some things to say.
I have a lot of stuff, and I was trying to tune back into it because, I think I mentioned that so it could do the things, tentacles and all that. Anyway. Okay. So, all right. This discussion topic is about career, and if you don't know what that is, if you'll look to your left, the cat's right of her screen, it says discussion topic, career.
It's actually my left of my screen because my thing is mirror imaged, so...
Damn it. What if it's just through the phone?
Damn. The fuck? The live is paused. I don't know.
Yeah. I turned my camera brightness up so I could see.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, discussion topic, career. And there is a lot that we have healed about this and remembered about this and just all the things.
And helped others with.
Helped others with, for sure. So I want to go into...
I want to start at the beginning of our own personal stuff.
That's where I wanted to go. It's
yeah.
how we were going to be XYZ and then all that. Okay. So when I was 2 years old, 2 to 3 years old, I wanted to be... a preacher in a church in Alabama. No, I'm just kidding. But,
She's
really.
Not kidding. She did. But
that
she
was
did.
Absolutely real. I was trying to make a silly joke because I was going to go to, later in life than that. But I'm like, all right, the beginning. And I was trying to be silly. But that's really, the first thing. Oh, my God. So, very interesting there. And that kind of went on. As surprise to no one, it was a past life bleed over. Guess what I was doing? Anyway, so I started off, graduated high school, and I was going to be a doctor. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to be a doctor. I like helping people. Because to me, that is, I wanted to help people, right? I wanted to go to the medical field. And I wanted a job that would always be there, quote unquote. And so... I got a job in the ER and worked for about a year and was like, wow, I don't like people like I thought I did. This was not the experience. You're not saving anyone. You're helping their addictions. And that kind of leads me into, I always liked mechanic work. I tried to fix things around my house. When I was a young kid, I'd be like, do you guys have anything for me to fix? Do you guys have anything for me to work on? And it would be glass. I would have to be like a glass blower, mind you, as a kid, to be able to fix these things. But in my head, I was like, hell yeah, gonna fix this shit. And my dad was an aerial photographer. And I was like, I do be fucking loving airplanes. Oh my God, airplanes are so cool. While also watching aircraft documentaries and stuff like that. So I was like, well, definitely don't want to be a doctor. So I'm going to go into aircraft mechanics. And what I kept telling myself into the doctor thing is I want to make enough money to fund my life, to fund my lifestyle. And that's what I kept saying. Over and over. I was like, as long as I can afford my things, as long as I can afford what I want to do, as long as I can do what I want to do. That was it. And I could do that being an aircraft mechanic as well. And also loving the fuck out of it. So that's my side. Kat, if you want to tell yours, and then we'll go into more stuff.
Okay.
We'll kind of collaborate with it, or do you?
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I wanted to be an artist or an actress because I wanted to express myself creatively. And then right before I graduated, someone in a local newspaper asked me, you're breathing into the phone. You're like, hell yeah.
Oh, I'm looking into this.
Oh, okay.
I was doing the things again for it. My bad.
Okay, but your nostrils like.
Oh, because I want. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Probably getting everything off. My bad.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, girl.
I'm just kidding.
The local newspaper interviewed, and I didn't really have any plans after graduation, but it was literally graduation, and I was like, yeah, I want to go into advertising, again, creativity and stuff like that. But my very first job was in a retirement community in a restaurant. And it was the kind of restaurant where they couldn't make any payments. It was a dining room. They had to choose between like 3 different beverages: juice, milk, or water. They weren't allowed alcohol or caffeine. And it was like a dining time where everybody came and sat. The hostess would seat you, but like you didn't get tips. It was hourly. There was a lunch shift and a dinner shift, and that was that. And since my first job was hospitality, I was like, I really like making people feel good. I really enjoy helping in that way. And I remember the people would, even if they had a regular table they sat at every single day, whatever section I was in, they would move to my section. And so it pissed everyone off, because they didn't understand why people liked me. And every job I had, the women that were my managers wanted to fire me. And it's not the thing where it's like, oh, they're jealous of you. No, literally they were like, they would say that I was too sexual for just existing. They would say that I was too whatever for just existing. But that kind of thing, I stuck in restaurant stuff because I was good at it and I didn't know how to get past it, but I still had the drive to rise up the ladder. And so I wanted to be management, but I was too passionate and I actually cared. So management was not something easily to climb up. And I have a lot of different fields inside the restaurant. Now, when it comes to the working in the ER and stuff, people would tell me like, hey, why don't you be a nurse? And I was like, I don't fucking want to do that at all. I don't want blood and any of the bodily fluids. No, thank you. I don't want anything like that. And then I also remember being like, I have too big of a heart, or like a bleeding heart. Like I didn't know I was connecting to people on an energetic level, because even if you guys haven't woken up to your abilities yet, if you want to call it that, or become aware, you're doing them always your whole life. Like your whole life you're doing them, and you just don't know that that's what they are. Like, for instance, every job I had, I was a trainer in the first 2 weeks. That's an energetic, quote unquote, spiritual ability. But I didn't want to be a nurse because didn't want to touch physical things like that. And I was like, if someone dies, I'm not going to be able to handle that. I am too emotionally connected in that way. That's not going to work well for me. And so I just stayed in a place where I was desperate. I wanted approval. And when Kate said she wanted something that would like fund her lifestyle, I wanted something that would fill my need for approval. And a part that she mentioned when she was telling her part that really stood out to me is Kate knew from a very young age she wanted to get the fuck away from where she was living and what she was doing and the people that were lying to her. What I knew at a very young age was I wanted the people in my life to notice me, to care. I wanted to mean something. I wanted to be important somewhere, but also if someone gave me a compliment in the work field, I couldn't handle it. I would break down. I couldn't handle someone actually acknowledging me because it didn't happen. So that's before our own personal healing of what we wanted growing up or what we thought and what drove us, and also us connecting to our abilities without even realizing we were.
That's a good point. So I wanted to be a psychiatric doctor, so I want to throw that out there because I forgot me saying that I'm in the ER wanting to be a doctor. It's like, oh yeah, ER doctor. No, I want to be a psychiatric doctor. And then what was really funny about that is I could see people's mental illness, what they had, quote unquote, above their head, because I'm a seer. And
she didn't know, like, not
I was
aware.
like, they're faking it. They're not really. They're not the thing. They're looking for this. They're looking for this. And then they would do their, like, psychiatric eval and be like, hey, so, like, they're not really XYZ. And I would just, like, just being in the ER. So it's like, no matter
Kate's
where
like, man,
you
I'm
go.
really good at this.
It's like, that's really good. I'm just really good at reading people, guys.
Really good at guessing, guys.
Oh my God, it's crazy. So that being said, is you have more career opportunities than you think you do. I say opportunities, but it's like, I'm not really sure how to phrase that. And then also, are you going into something because you think that's what you're supposed to do? Because that's what my non-chosen family did. They went into the medical field because, God, how do I say this? They were the bully. It's a trope, but I'm like, that absolutely was their trope. And they went into that field so they could, like, save or whatever.
Her non-chosen sibling.
Yes. And then, so they went into that field so they could save and stuff like that. So it's like, are you going into these fields because you know that they are always going to be around, or you know that they, X, Y, Z? Is it something that you actually want to do? Do you think that you're doing this job because you don't deserve any better? You don't deserve any, like, what you actually want to do or what you actually love doing?
You might not know what you love doing. So that brings to the next part of this, kind of, for me. I was really good at making people happy. I was really good at puzzle solving. It happened in my life with my family, and I ended up being a stay-at-home mom for a bit, which I didn't think was ever going to happen. And it wasn't like we were financially able to do that, me and my ex-husband and my 2 kids at the time. And then he went to prison. So I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids and no income. So I had to get a job, and I didn't want to do restaurant because of the hours. And because of the trauma of what happened to me in the restaurant, like with people I was so close to everybody, it fucked me up. So I went into sales next. And I'm talking, I was like, I'm gonna be a manager. I'm gonna be a manager at Pier 1. Oh my God, $10 an hour, in 2010. And I was like, the title of manager, and it wasn't even like, it was like, there were 4 managers. So it's not like I was a big time manager or anything. And I was so messed up. And I wanted that title so badly that the rest of it didn't matter to me. And that was after, that, my next thing after the big, huge traumatic thing happened to me, I went into that, and I had to heal a bunch of self-worth and self-love and self-respect and self-boundaries. And my spiritual, quote unquote, awakening happened in that job. What happened to you after you figured out, or right before you figured out aviation and went into it?
Aviation and stuff. Well, I guess
your big thing was Alaska.
Yeah. So, again, I always knew that I wanted to get the fuck away from them because they were disgusting. Literally called me, I don't know, whatever they could think of. They called me gross, a failure, would never succeed, just randomly. I wasn't asking. Again, autistic, Asperger's, I don't know what validation is. I have no need for validation. I have no want for I did not know that was a thing until today. This moment, 21st of July, 2026. Didn't know that that's what people were doing to me. So they would just tell me how disgusting and gross I was.
When she was at work today. That happened.
Yeah, that happened. That I figured out what validation was and what people were wanting from me.
Like, she knew the definition, she knew the word, but it
I
was
just didn't
like
know what they were doing.
It clicked that's what that was that they were doing.
So back in younger Kate, they would just kind of like come up and tell me, or like they would touch me and be like, and like wipe their clothes and stuff like that. And it's like, I wasn't gross. 2 showers a day. Like, I don't know. So it's like, why would I want to be around anyone like that? So I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta fucking do something. Knew that I had to get out, chose doctor stuff from what I just told y'all. And then I was like, wow, I'm not doing this. Dropped out, didn't tell anybody. And then enrolled in aviation school and was told that it was going to be paid for. And it was not, of course, because that's how they would get me. They wanted me to get away from them, but they did not want me to succeed. So they started to pay for it and then ripped it away. And then was like, damn, that sucks. Like, what are you going to do? I guess you should have figured something out. I guess you should have. And they would also tell me not to get a credit card or like not to get a card, anything that would make me independent. Terrible. Don't do it. Just things like that. And so
it's dangerous. You can't handle it. It's going to fuck you over in the long run.
Actually,
blah, blah,
it wasn't,
blah, blah, blah.
They didn't say anything like that.
What did they say?
They told me that that's what poor people do. Literally.
Which doesn't register to you at all. You're just kind of
I was like, I don't know what that means. Me autistic Kate, who was not raised, by the way, by adults. They left me alone for months at a time. So didn't know what the fuck that meant. And I was like, damn. Anyway, and I went and got a credit card. And went and got a card. Because, again, don't know what that means. And then after that, met my now significant other online.
But she was online, hardcore, playing games because her dad died.
Yeah. So I knew that I wanted to get the fuck out of there. Enrolled in aviation school.
But I need to say this: the video games, even though that was good and it was channeling for her, and it was the next step of it, this was a form of escapism because Kate's goal was get away from these people. And it's part of the career path. Yes.
It's part of this discussion topic, and all this needs to be said because y'all are going through it too, or else we wouldn't be channeling all this shit. So, enrolled in aviation school because still, I need to get the fuck away from these people, and I fucking love airplanes, autistic motherfucker. And so my dad was like, hell yeah, gonna help you with that because he also autistically loved airplanes. And then he died in his sleep. And I was like, well, fucking okay. I will still continue to go to school, and then went to school and played video games, and then would stay up for days and days and days at a time. Met my significant other. He was already he was already a diesel mechanic. He told me the goal was not to get together, by the way, not to be together, just talking. And he was like, I think I want to go over there. I think I want to do mechanic. I think I want to do aircraft mechanics. They don't offer it where I live. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, but guess what? To be an immigrant, you have to have a sponsor.
Still was not thinking, let's get together. It was just like, oh, I can literally hear Kate go, well, they have it here. Why don't you just come here?
Yeah, that's it. I was like, oh, I would like to come there. That sounds like a really cool place. Australia. I was like, hell yeah, I can just transfer, blah, 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 blah. Was Googling all the things. Oh, they don't have a school over there.
Not for a relationship. Planning their life together. No concept that they were going to be together. Just like, hell yeah, that sounds fun.
I love friends. Anyway. And I was like, yeah, I bet Australia has, it looks super easy for me to get in there because I'm going to aviation school and they're in a need. They have like a need for that in Australia. They have like a huge need, and I can just get right on. I could be in a student visa. They don't have aviation school over here. Hey, they have aviation school over here. You want to come over here? It's real easy. All I have to do is sponsor you and then blah, 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 blah. So, that being said, they did the same thing. Sponsored him, crazy, non-chosen family.
I do want to pause here. The reason that Kate has switched her vocabulary to significant other instead of husband is because the majority of you guys put gross shit on husband-wife.
Yeah. And in the physical, too. People do.
Yeah.
And then they'll ask me weird shit.
For Kate and Shaden, that's the title. That's the legal title, so that's what they are. But like, again, they're coming together, and you always hear her say they met on Xbox. It was not a little cutesy, like, oh my God. Like,
you're
oh my
so
God.
hot.
That did not happen. It was this.
And then, so I was like, man, they do have it here. Oh, it looks like all I have to do is sponsor you? Bitch, okay. Non-chosen family sponsored them because of the income thing, right? Ripped that away mid-sponsor. And so there I am, because that was their form of abuse. My father had already died by this time, so I had some money from that. And I was like, holy fuck. So, all of a sudden, I had school. I had to sponsor someone. I had to pay to live. I had to live. I had to feed myself. So, yeah.
College prices.
I have my degree. I have my degree.
Prices.
So it was pretty fucking awful. And
spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
We gotta eat soup and spaghetti.
I remember one time I spilled my mac and cheese I hadn't eaten in 3 days.
Cried.
And I cried. And, because a cat that was not mine, was not my cat, just got left in the house, got underneath my feet. So, house riddled with fleas. Of course, the person that owned it, non-chosen family, now owned it because they also convinced me to do that. It was in my name, but they convinced me to because I was very sad from the death. Convinced that of me. And so they wouldn't do anything. They just let me live in this flea-riddled house.
I don't know. I feel like I need to add this because of the whole, the wealth thing that got brought up and them trying to overpower. They also convinced, because Kate was very sad, there was trust money involved, and Kate couldn't handle it, so we'll hold on to it for you. That is a story that happens with a lot of you.
Mm-hmm. You can't handle it, so I'll be the executrix, and you don't need to handle that. And then proceeded to not give me the money and tell me that it's dangerous that I go and see this man that I now loved. Mind you, they had cheated on their partners. And,
not her significant other, the non-chosen family.
Yeah, not my significant other. The non-chosen family that was holding this money now over my head that I did not need. They had cheated on their partners, and the partner, so they lived in this weird whirlwind of chaos of people that they didn't actually like. And I had found the person because, little backstory here, they tried to convince me I was lesbian because I never brought any men home. So
she's asexual. She didn't bring anybody home.
Yeah, never talked to them about crushes or anything like that. Again, asexual.
Also, why would she talk to them about that anyway?
So, again, asexual has nothing to do with libido. It is a form of either you are lesbian, gay, asexual. It's one of those. I am attracted to no one.
You could be asexual, a female, and only date females too. It's just, it is what it is.
So, I had never talked to them about men, never anything like that. And here I am talking to them about this guy, and, he's dangerous, and we just don't know about him. So, fucking incredible, right? So, all that is to say, with this career, that is what kind of shaped my career is, not really shaped it. That is what, I guess, I don't know, built it in a way. I need to fucking get this degree. I don't care how long it takes me. I would sleep during class a lot of the time.
So all of this is to say, the very beginning of our career, we were young. She was building a career. I was trying to build a career because that's what you think you're supposed to do when you're young, right? You are young. You're like, I need a career. That's what you're told that you need. You're becoming an adult. That's what you need. Our careers, quote unquote, that we were building were from trauma. All of it was from trauma. All of our goals were trauma-based. We're trying to get away from, trying to get recognition from. It was not, it was tiresome. There was an excessive amount of burnout. There was an excessive amount of emotional overflow. I was not able to...
I had 3 jobs.
I was not able to be the kind of mom that I wanted to be. Again, when I said I started my like quote unquote spiritual awakening, I was in my room watching tarot videos on YouTube about twin flames or astrology or whatever the fuck, in my room by myself. My youngest at the time, which is my middle now, would come in and be like, Mommy, can we go outside? Mommy, can we go to the park today? I couldn't even answer to say yes or no. I put all my energy and my personality and all of that at work, trying to get approval. And the people that I didn't need approval from, the ones that depended on me, were they in danger? No, but they were not, they had no emotional anything from me that they needed. All of my regulation went to performance at work. I was not doing something I was happy in. I was trying to get the approval that I so desperately wanted. She was burnt out. She was getting a career, trying to climb a ladder and get the fuck away.
Move forward. I was trying to just move forward.
On a treadmill.
Whatever I had to do. Yes. Whatever I had to do.
Uphill on a treadmill.
And I ended up having 3 jobs at one time, at one point is what I mean.
I remember my eldest still has the trauma of like when he drinks even like a glass of water or a soda, he puts the whole fridge could be full of beverages, and he will put his half drank drink in the fridge to not waste it, because of the trauma he had when he was little, of like me yelling, like we don't have that to give. I've already spoken before about like when I would get mad that they didn't eat at dinner, it was because I had put time and energy into this that nobody asked me to do. It was what I thought I needed to do, and I was burnt out from trying to impress everybody else and build up the corporate ladder. And I was not choosing a career based on the type of day I wanted to have. I was building a career off of survival and trauma. I wasn't even close to thriving. I remember looking at my calendar, like a wall calendar, what I'd write the bills that were due. I had a credit card. I did not want to have it. I had it. My ex-husband ended up addicted and in prison. Before he was my ex-husband, while he was still, when I was a single mom and went to work at Pier 1. But I remember I would write my bills on the calendar, and I would have to decide which bill I could be late on. Was it going to be electric? Was it going to be water? What could I be late on because my credit card bills were too high? I was beyond treading water. I was literally not good. I was not good. Also, I was going manic from spirituality. So that was happening around that same time too.
Okay. So with mine and how I was absolutely not thriving, even though I was in the field that I wanted to be. So what Kat asked me about earlier was Alaska. So I'd graduated. I'd finally graduated. My hair was falling out.
Shaden is still here in this time of the story. They took the sponsorship away, so they ended up getting married.
Yep. And so, so at this point, and then he was in school, but he's behind me because I was already in school whenever I met my significant other, Shaden. Okay, so at this point, like I'm graduated, hair falling out because I'm so stressed. And I go and I cannot find a job in my area. Still trying to get the fuck away from my non-chosen family. So why do you think I could not find a job in my area? Anyway.
Because energetically she needed to get the fuck away, but she didn't know that at the time. It was just frustrating as fuck.
And so I sat there for almost 6 months. I interviewed at a place that was like 2 hours away. And I was like, okay.
Wait, I think we skipped on that a little too fast, like explaining it. If you guys are looking for a job in your wheelhouse, in your area, in your whatever, and you cannot fucking find it, do you energetically have it set up that you don't want to be there? Because also, if you energetically have it set up that you don't want to be there, guess what you're not going to find? Something there.
I want to point out, too, that there were aircraft hangars. The whole city and the city next to it and the cities next to it were made up of aircraft hangars. It was very odd that I could not find a job. They were literally all around me, but could not. And
it's not like that career path isn't about necessarily like a personality hire. So even in interviews, if she just knew the things, that's really all it took.
It was very, very odd. And then I would get the interview, and then they would interview me, and they'd be like, oh, we found someone really good who has a lot of experience. Bye. That was one of my, like, I went to all the interviews, then went to the in-person interview, and they're like, oh my God, we all of a sudden found somebody. Bye. And so I was like, okay. Months went by, same shit. Went to a place like 2 hours away, and I was like, oh, I can definitely drive 2 hours and do this every day. They paid less. They knew they knew I had a degree in aircraft, and they were paying less than my tech job in an ER that required no degree, that required nothing.
Did they pay for travel?
No.
Boarding?
40.
Boarding.
Nope.
Jesus.
It was very
How
odd.
many planes did it take to get to Alaska?
6. Jesus. Oh no! This was in Texas.
Oh,
this
okay.
This wasn't Alaska yet. This was jobs around the area. Okay. And I was like, I'll go to Texas. I'll drive 2 hours away, and I'll do it. I'll live there.
2 hours away.
Well, they were like, they were like, we need all this experience, and I need somebody to help me, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I could definitely do this. And I was like, but by the way, what's the pay? And he was like, $12. And I was like, I get more than that in the ER. And then he was like, well, I'll call you. And I was like, please don't. And so one day, non-chosen family was in another country. And I was like, you know what? I'm so fucking mad. And I looked at all the jobs, and I was like, Alaska? Yeah, that's the farthest fucking place. I'm not going to get that job. I got called the next day and hired the next day.
Guess what, shithead? Welcome to America. We're going to Alaska. Bye.
Oh, he was still in school. So it took 6 planes there and 6 planes back, and they paid and for most of it. I forget which part they wouldn't pay, because it was from Louisiana to Alaska. I think it was Louisiana to Seattle they wouldn't pay.
So this was the first time that Kate did enough inner work and self-evaluation and enough zoomed out without knowing what we do now to where she could go, I care about me. Fuck all the what is available, what you're allowed to do, what's close to you. She said, fuck it. I'm going to do this for me. Soon as she said, I'm going to do this for me, everything opened up and pushed forward. Now, for me, when I was working at Pier 1 and I was going through my spiritual awakening kind of thing, and it was in private Facebook rooms, and it was Love and Light and Light Worker, Starseed, Twin Flame, that kind of stuff. Mind you, very into the youth group when I was in the church. Very much, because I'm a people pleaser in the way I was. I'm not anymore. I needed that. And I needed to be like, yeah, see, I am important. I'm one of the chosen ones. I am important.
Sorry, Yancey changed their name. I'm so sorry. Eden Debussy.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Her cameo every once in a while. Perfect.
And it's always some shit.
Yes. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So I was going through that, and it there were lots of messages. There were lots of messages in that spiritual community of like, spirits telling you that you need to step into your divinity and you need to follow your gifts and you need to leave your career and all of that, which I know you guys have fucking heard before. Spirits telling you, spirit guides are telling you, you need to get out of the career and you need to start opening a spiritual business. So I quit Pier 1 with no backup plan and I started doing tarot with only this private room of like 500 members as my, yes, this is a lot of people that are noticing me and know my abilities. I started doing that donation based. Guys, that's not sustainable. There was no foundation. There was nothing there for me. I left in a dramatic way like Kate did, but I was not for me. I wasn't doing it for me. I still wasn't. So it still wasn't opening up for me. I didn't step into doing it for me. I was still very much, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yes, this is how I'm going to get validation. Yes, this is how I'm going to get approval. People like me here. I can do this skill. I watched so many. I learned the rules of tarot because I watched YouTube tarot videos over and over and over again. So of course I know what the Queen of Cups means. Of course, most of my background tarot information is not from a booklet. It is Twin Flame Starseed Lightworker vernacular of what they think those cards mean. Like the Four of Wands is the marriage card. The Queen of Swords is the divorce card. Because that means they're leaving their karmic partner and they're coming to you and y'all are going to get married. Bullshit. All bullshit. But anyway, I had a dramatic thing that happened to me. Like a lot of you here want to do or here to do when you step into spirituality, but there was no foundation. I still was not doing it for me. You're now doing it for you. What's next?
Okay. So, significant other is still in Louisiana, home in Louisiana, going to school. So it's Alaska time. I get there. I just got done with school, and school, they teach you how to take a test. That's what school teaches you how to do, unfortunately, in college. And so I get there, even though you have to have practical knowledge. I had 6 years of practical knowledge, which means I had worked on aircraft. I did the sheet metal, I did the riveting, I did everything you could imagine with the machines. I get there, and this is not just privately owned aircraft. This is the plane you would ride on if you guys would take a trip. So, and this was in the bush of Alaska, which means that they would go from city to city.
Private planes too, but still.
They would deliver mail, stuff like that. It was cargo and passenger. So I get there and they're like, we need this tire filled up, and I go, I don't know how to fill up that fucking tire. I don't know how to do that. And they were like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know how to fill up a tire? And I was like, I'm just letting you know. This is what I learned in school. This is what I learned in school. I'm just letting y'all know. It was a bunch of 60-year-old plus, military, ex-military, ex-Air Force. And you have to live with them. So not only did I have to live with them, we all lived in one house, all the mechanics of the shift, and later the pilots. We all lived in one house, which means we all shared a bathroom, which means sometimes weird shit happened in the room.
It's kind of like oil rig life, if you guys are familiar with that, or like Greatest Catch, or like Scariest Catch or whatever, that kind of life, where it's like on the field, living there in close quarters for like 6 months or whatever, and then going back for 6 months or whatever the time frame. Yeah.
So at this point, I was so like mentally, I don't know what you'd call it, like muddled maybe?
Because she was doing it for her, but she was still connected to her hometown and doing the things for her partner as well. She had not fully stepped in. Things opened up for her when she stepped into herself, but she hadn't let go. I hate the word let go, but she hadn't fully stepped into just doing things for Kate. She was still doing it for this other stuff back here.
To get the fuck away.
So it's kind of like a big rubber band, and she's going forward, but she can't go any more forward. She's gone as far as it stretches.
It's like pushing through concrete. And so I get there and still they treat me like absolute fucking trash. I don't know what the military mind games thing, but I didn't know this at the time. They're trying to break me down. I am the only female there. They are pretty gross. There is weird stuff going on that I'm not really sure about. And not only that, every time I get in an awkward position in the aircraft, I try to shut the doors of the aircraft. Well, because they're fucking looking at me crazy. And I get told that I'm on my phone too much. I'm taking pictures of
which is
all
part of the job.
Which is part of the job. Because what do the manuals say? Manuals from the 40s for these modern aircraft. They modernized, sorry. They were built in the 40s. And so all the instructions say is to put it back on the way you found it, the way you took it off, put it back on in reverse. That is the manual for it. So you have to take pictures. You have to take pictures. And so I don't know what you would call this. Mental mind games like a motherfucker. And then I'm like, okay, I've had enough. A pilot tried to do some weird shit. And Shaden graduates. And I'm like, I want him here. I want him here. And they're like, well, we're looking for somebody with experience. And I'm like, cool. Y'all aren't getting it. How long have you had an opening for? How long have you had an opening for? And at this time, I was the longest standing mechanic besides the DOM and all the white collar. I was the longest standing mechanic at this point. And so I was like, I want him here.
Okay, so I need to do a footnote here for Shaden, who was part of our friend group, and his career path. So at this point, yes, he's been accelerated into this life. He thought about mechanics. It was presented because of Kate in his head, even though it was presented because of him. In his head, it's because of Kate. His college, because of Kate. His life in America, because of Kate. Now he has a job in Alaska. He thinks it's not that, but he thinks it's because of Kate.
At this point. And
but he's not expressing it either verbally. His actions are resentment building actions that they have to start healing from later. But that's part of his career path, is he felt like he got drug into this world, not of his choosing.
Which is crazy because he left Australia at this point with his career, knowing that it would build a career, because that's what his visa was for school. So
okay. Also, I want to pause here. So I have a breakdown. This is around 2015, 2016 is where I left to do tarot full-time by donation, which is crazy. I figured out my past life abilities opened up. I could not explain to fucking anyone how I was able to help people see past lives. No one did it like me. I didn't read it anywhere. When I would try to explain it, they were like, so like in front of you, like on a couch? No, just over the phone. So do you go and read my Akashic library? I don't know. I just go into it and then I become you and we're in your past life. And they're like, so how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I do that. I just know that I do it and I know that it gets results. And so when it gets results, because it was like soul fragments, relieving that and seeing traumatic past lives. And I did not know I was opening portals. I did not know I was helping people go into their body. I didn't know what I was doing. I still knew to do it safely. Even though I went manic, none of my people did. You know what I mean? So I was still able to do it. I was still focused on that stupid twin flame lies shit. I still wasn't When I switched to past life stuff, that's when I slightly started doing things for me. Because someone would book with me that was a regular for a tarot reading, and I'd go, if you're booking with me, then you need a past life session. And they'd be like, and I'm like, I do past lives now. So do you want to work with me or no? And they were like, I guess. And I'm like, if you're wanting to work with me, then past life session it is. And they're like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. Get on the phone with me and we'll do it. Cool. Sounds good. So my abilities started to open up. I started to step into myself, but I was still stuck trying to do things for everyone else. And I wasn't making any money. So I had to sell my home. I owned a home, but I owned a home because of my dad who was in prison. We worked out a deal. And it was like when I couldn't pay mortgage and I couldn't pay rent because of everything that was happening to me, it then became my inheritance. That house is my inheritance. So I needed to sell it because I wasn't doing things fully for me and I needed money. I didn't have anything. I had 2 kids and I didn't have anything except the ability to walk people through past lives. But no, I didn't know how to do anything with it. That was it. So I had a thing when I went manic and all of that. That's a big part of my story, but that's not necessarily with this. What it did
I'm getting not to talk about my like tarot and all that kind of stuff.
When it jumped,
completely career.
When it jumped, well, mine is still career.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My stuff.
There was this area of spirituality and stuff that ended up jump starting this person who at the time I was determined was my twin flame, multiple past lives, bonded, linked together, my divine counterpart, right? This is, nothing, past lives, everything. There he was everywhere. There he was, every life, everything. People who could see if the person was your energy match or whatever, it was him. There it was. It was always whatever. Something happened when I went manic that made him start coming forward to me. And in that lying twin flame propaganda world, that meant that he was leaving his karmic, which is anybody that's not you in the twin flame community is their karmic. Period. They're the bad guy, good guy, bad guy. And he was divorcing her and coming forward. They were separated, or so he told me. And then we weren't together. We were like together, but we weren't together. He was separate. Anyway, he was divorced now and coming to me. Perfect time to sell my house. He and I are going to live together. My time, I've earned this. I've done all my inner healing. I've done that. I am healed and I earned this. So sold my house. And the day before it closed with all of my stuff 2 hours away in Tampa when I lived in Leesburg, the day before it closed, he broke up with me. And I had no place to go with my 2 kids. And I didn't know what to do. And I went to stay with my ex-mother-in-law because we were close for like 2 or 3 days. And then I decided to get a vacation house because I had money. So when people are like, what would you do if you won the lottery? I had $75K and no career, no life, no job. I know exactly what I would do if I won that much money. I got a vacation house because that's what you could get approved for down in the area for 2 months. And then I finally, when I started doing something for myself, when I finally crashed and cried because he wasn't there, and I thought if I moved to the area, that would manifest him. When I decided I didn't care anymore about it and I was going to find a place for me and my kids, I found a place for rent where I could pay I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this money. I don't know how I'm going to be with this money. I want to pay first, last, and the whole lease. Can I pay the whole thing? I don't want to worry if I'm going to run out. Can I just pay the whole lease term? And they did. And they also put everything that I paid them in escrow. So at the end, I got a little bit back, which was great. They were great. The house was great. Everything was going great. Except I got knocked up by the guy. As soon as I started doing well for myself, he showed up. And that's that part. Okay, what's next for you?
I want to point out too that
I still don't have a job at this point.
That with career stuff, I feel like I have to say something about tarot. I grew up in Louisiana. Everybody knows about like tarot, voodoo. Everyone is Catholic, and on the side, because you know God, they do they go to the voodoo priestess and priestesses, and that's just something they do. And so I had tarot. I was fully awake and aware my entire fucking life, which was another miserable fucking thing. And
everybody told her she was full of shit and lying and crazy her whole life. Imagine like that happening to you. Minds. That happening to you in your 20s or your late teens or your 30s or whatever. Some of you it did happen in childhood, so you understand her whole life.
So they would use me as a party trick and then tell me I was full of fucking shit. And then do everything that I told them that I saw. I could read in their entire mind. I could see inside their head. I could see everything.
And this is everybody, but she's talking mostly about her non-chosen family.
And their friends. But this was everyone on all the time. And I just I did not know what they wanted me to see and not see because I didn't know what this was ever. And so I would say something like, hey, why did you look at that guy like that? Like, I think that, is that because you like him? And that was fuck me, fuck you, you're disgusting. Why would you say that? Because it was true, because that's what you presented to me.
So when you guys left Alaska, so Shaden's up there with you, you guys have it, you're working there. This was right before COVID.
Yes.
Or like... How did you guys end up coming back to your hometown?
Okay, so we're in Alaska, and in my head, I'm like, I'm going to stay here the rest of my life because it's so good. It's so good. Why would I leave here? I get to fix planes and tear down planes and do everything. Like, I could do anything you could imagine on a plane. I could tear it down. I could fix it up. I knew exactly what to do. I could put on an engine, I could take off an engine, I can put on a wing, I could rebuild a wing, I could do whatever you could think of. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be here the rest of my life. This fucking dude.
I do want to mention that, yes, Shaden is on the neurodivergent side of things. Shaden is not autistic like that. So while Kate's living her best life and hyper-focused and like, hell yeah, I'm doing the things, Shaden's very aware of people in the house, sharing the space, it's freezing cold, the food, all of this stuff, and his cage is getting a little bit thicker.
And he is like, hell yeah, I fucking love it here, and it's cold. I get to do whatever I want because that's what we do. You don't do anything up there.
In his world, his parents would threaten to kick him out all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he was also like, this is fucking terrible. But also in his world, his parents were the best thing ever. The best thing ever. They could not do any wrong. They were just doing it to motivate him. We're
almost out of time, too.
Okay.
And we're, like, not even close to where we wanted to get to.
Damn. Okay. So, he was the best mechanic they had ever seen. Told him that. While also saying to stop talking to me or talking to me too much. We don't talk at work. We don't talk at work. At work, we are not together. That's always how it's been. So, emotionally abusing him. He thinks it's the greatest place ever. COVID happens. Why did
I get that his cage was getting thicker then?
Because we left. And he was like, what the fuck? First you go here. It was getting thicker, but in his head, it was because of me. Like, we went to Alaska because of me. We went to blah, blah, blah because of me. That's why. So...
He's fully involved in the decision making too. It's just in his head.
He actually finds the things. He found our apartment there. He found everything. everything. Like, it's very odd whenever this comes up.
It took years for him to heal it. And like I witnessed it healing. That's how many years later it took.
Fucking incredible. And then, so anyway, COVID happens. I hear on maybe the radio that they are closing the borders to Canada the next day or like in a week or something like that. And I'm like, everything in Alaska gets shipped in. Everything in Alaska gets shipped in. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's crazy. I call work. They shut down work. We weren't allowed to fly. We weren't allowed to fly to work anymore. And they shut that down. I get called to work, cry getting there, quit, because they're double the emotionally abusive, tell me I can't drive in that town. That's the only way to get around. It's a very small town. And so I take all my tools, don't say anything, take all my tools, leave. And then I hear on the radio or news or whatever that they're like, all right, we're shutting down the borders. I freak the fuck out because I'm like, everything in Alaska gets trucked in. Everything gets trucked in. What the fuck? Go back to Louisiana.
They also have lots of past lives where they're like stranded. Donner Party is part of it, like apocalyptic in a bunker thing. So the walls are closing in on Kate.
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here. And Shaden, it's like, again, oh my God, we haven't even unpacked.
Those are lives unhealed. They didn't look at them yet. They didn't know what was happening. But when we talk about bleed overs, you're experiencing the same thing, the same trauma from those lives. They're coming up, but you don't know it's a past life. The trauma is real and you're terrified.
By this point, months before this, I had already talked to Kat. I'd already found Kat.
Didn't talk to me yet.
Didn't talk to you? Okay. In the comments?
Our very first session was you were moving back.
Okay.
It was my cancellation list.
Uh-huh.
You had talked in the comments or whatever every once in a while.
And then I was sleeping and then woke the fuck up and checked your comment. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I can do this right now. Hell yeah. And then we did.
That was one of the best sessions I've ever had in my entire life. That was fucking cool.
It was fucking explosive. It was crazy.
That was so crazy. And at that point in time, I was helping people look at the most traumatic life they could heal. So we looked at a life and Kate was like, I have to admit something to you. This is not the most traumatic. And then the session exploded. I had never had anybody be like, this is not the most traumatic life I've ever had. I'm telling you right now. And she's like, I don't know why my guide is showing you this. She was the first person I ever met that talked.
It was a starving. I was like, fuck. Anyway, good.
She was the first person I met that could ever like talk to her guide as if they were standing in front of her, and I could talk to them too. I went and hung out, and I was like, oh yeah, let me talk bro talk with this guy. Anyway, this is not career topic. It's just that it was such a good fucking session, and it was cancellation list, and I was just like, hey, I have an availability.
It was fucking awesome. So. Moved to Louisiana, got a job there. It was the same. Emotionally abusive. I don't know if I need to go on. I don't know if you need to say stuff.
Yeah, okay, so she moved back to Louisiana. It's the same, right? She moved out of there. Again, she's motivated by trauma. She's motivated by fear. She's back in her cage. But you cannot unheal things that you've healed.
By this point, me and Kat were talking hours and hours and hours and hours, days and days and days and days and days.
Because we were like looking into every question that we've ever had about everything. I'm talking, what about the Battle of Revelations? What about Russia and Rasputin? What happened in Norse times?
JFK. Fucking.
What happened with Let's go fucking look. We could look. We could time travel. We were Rick and Morty up in this bitch. We were Bill and Ted. We were having the time of our lives. But okay, I need to go back a little bit for mine.
Okay.
All right. Sold my house for a relationship that I believed was a thing. He dumped me right before. And then once I was like, you know what? Fuck him. I'll move in on my own. I started living for me, found the perfect place, found the perfect price. Still didn't have a job. Got knocked up the day I moved in. Also, they changed my 12-month lease to a 9-month lease. Hold on, I got to do the puzzle piece.
Ah.
So the day I move in, I get pregnant. 9 months later, I'm supposed to move out. Crazy. The soul that I get pregnant with was literally a soul that, like, a month or two prior, I had we had energetically unlocked it. It was trapped in the sun. It was an oversoul that was trapped in the sun that couldn't come back to Earth. It was locked. I didn't know it was going to be my child. Oversouls are like billions or millions of people. Well, it depends on how you look at time frame. There's only 12 oversouls, and every single thing from the plastic to water to humans to animals to plants are only these 12 oversouls. That whole oversoul was locked the fuck up. Okay, so because it had never had any earth lives or hadn't had earth life since ancient Egypt, my spiritual abilities got shut down. My entire body, that baby, Casey Ray, shut me the fuck down. I didn't want to get a job because I didn't want to take maternity leave. This is before talking to Kate. I'm not talking to Kate yet. I haven't met Kate. Okay? She's not there. She's somewhere else. She in Alaska. Okay.
She in Alaska.
She over there. We energetically were connected.
We were talking to each other.
We were.
Oh, show.
I was getting clouds in the sky that looked like airplanes. I don't even, whatever.
Like was I getting clouds too? I remember taking pictures. I remember showing you some. Was it the colors?
I think so.
Your colors. Okay.
We were helping each other. Never met in our current life at all. Okay, so I get pregnant because the guy comes around, but he's only there on, mind you, he's divorced. There's a whole crazy backstory there. He's not actually, I put finger quotes for those listening on the podcast. He's not actually divorced.
Oh yeah.
I think he is. Even though I keep channeling all the different things about him not, he has an answer for all of it. He only texts. He never calls. I'm talking all the typical red flag stuff. I was like, not true because twin flame. Like, literally would only see me on the lunch break because his work was right next to my place that I lived. When my kids weren't there, would not call, only text. There would be holes in our conversation because he wouldn't answer. Anyway, I'm on the phone this whole time with someone that I thought was my mentor and my friend. I don't like to mention them very much, but at that time, that's what I was doing. But it wasn't as much spiritual work because the baby literally didn't want me to do any of that because that's danger. Danger, Will Robinson, I might not be born. That baby had miscarriages and abortions, and that soul did not make it to
Kicked
Earth for
out.
like hundreds of thousands of years. It was terrified. So I'm sitting here going, okay, babe, to, my person at that time, we have $60,000 left for a down payment on a home. Okay, babe, we've got $45,000 left for a down payment on a home. I'm still not working. Mind you, this is careers. I start manifesting my life. I start buying bedroom furniture that he might like. I start buying enough chairs for his kids and my kids. I start purchasing plates that he would like, art that he would like. The swing chair that I finally got were colors that he would like. I'm manifesting, guys, I'm not doing anything for me, and I have no career. I got 2 kids and 1 on the way. My money runs out. I'm done. End of the lease, C-section, no money, no home. Homeless, C-section, 3 kids. He's not around. He breaks up with me a month before she's born again. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I send my 2 eldest with my sibling up to South Carolina while I pack the house. I send my newborn with my birth mother while I pack the house. I'm having a conversation with my landlord about her job, and she works for a pension office in Tampa. And I live in that Tampa area. And I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, I don't know. It would be like, the job's pretty boring. I was like, I love boring jobs. I'm like interviewing, not knowing that I'm interviewing. I am talking to her like a real person. I'm not trying to get this job. I'm just talking to her. They only hire temps. They don't hire, and if you get hired like to work there, you're either a temp or you have a degree for it. Like, it is a government office pension. So there's no like hiring off the street kind of thing. So I'm talking to her and whatever, and casually mentioning that I'd be interested in it, but I'm still not living for me. So I'm homeless. I don't know what to do. I go live in my childhood abusive home. This is around 2017, 18. So I'm not caught up to COVID yet. Around 2017, 18, I go live there. Even though I don't have a job, my birth mother, as soon as I get a job, like, I think about restaurant again, because that's what I know, but I don't want to. I can't get hired at restaurant. I ended up working as a concierge in a salon. Like a nice quality salon in the Villages, Florida. I didn't do my hair. I hadn't had a haircut in like 5 years. My pants, I had to buy black pants, were from Walmart, but the only pants they had available were like yoga pajama pants. They were high waters on me. I did not feel confident. I didn't feel cute. I was getting things done. That was $12 an hour. And I was getting paid $1 more than the person that was training me. And I wasn't supposed to tell her, which made me very uncomfortable. And I was not unpacking because I didn't want to fucking be there. I didn't want to fucking live in that house. I wanted, and I was still spiritual, but things were not working for me. And I didn't know what I was missing. And I wasn't living for me. I was not living for me. It wasn't till I went, what kind of job do I want? Well, I want to be home when my kids are home. I really would like to, if it has to be, what's it called? Section 8 housing. Oh
yeah, like the, like government housing or applied,
basically,
whatever,
like whatever income based.
Yes.
I was like, I don't care if it's here in my hometown, if it's back down in Tampa, which I really liked that area. I'm still talking to, now that I'm out, now that he broke up with me and I'm homeless but living 2 hours away. Oh, he's texting me, honey, we are back on, we're quote unquote twin flames. So baby, the toxicity, the relationship, it's real. I'm healing. He's not, which by fault, you can't actually be from the same energetic oversoul if you're not in an exact frequency, because one of you's healing and one of you's not. None of the logical stuff works in this equation. Mind you, I have his child. He doesn't want to see her, doesn't try to see her. It's only 2 hours away. I still think he's divorced. I'm living out of boxes. And then I have a talk, and I don't know who I was talking to, possibly the person that I used to be friends with or whatever. I started to be able to do spiritual stuff again because the baby was out of my body. And I was sick as fuck. That baby was really sick. Casey Ray was really sick when she was little. Cause it was like, I could go into like a lot with that. And then everybody was sick except me, but that was because of plague lives. And I don't get sick like that apparently. Anyway, whatever. When I energetically checked off what I wanted. I wanted to be home when my kids were home in the evening and on the weekends. I wanted that. Not because they needed me to be there, because mind you, they were surviving just fine with me not mentally there. So it wasn't their desire of it. It was my desire. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be around them when they were home. I wanted vacations off, because restaurant jobs, you don't get vacations off. So I started to sculpt what I needed. And I wanted to make at least enough to make income-based housing so I could have a place with me and my kids. That's basic stuff. That's what I wanted. I had been there 9 months. My old manager calls me. Hey, I've got a position. It's only 3 months long. It's really boring. It is scanning paper to go paperless. And it's here, at the office, which was a 2-hour commute. And I was like, okay, well, I need to make at least, like in my head, I needed to make at least $17 an hour to sustain life with my 3 kids in government housing. I said, well, how much does it pay? She said, $25 an hour. Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? $25? I've never made that. $25 an hour. I'll do it. Well, it's only for 3 months. I'll do it. Well, it's a 2-hour. I'll do it. I'll be there. When do you need me there? What day do you need me there? What day do you need me there? I set up daycare, which I had to heal a lot because I didn't want to do daycare. I set all that up. I wasn't even thinking about the guy at this moment in time. I needed to get the fuck out of that living situation. I needed to take my kids. I needed to focus on me. And when I did, stuff started to open up. And that was right before quarantine. I have a few other moves before quarantine, but I'm basically about caught up there.
I want to do like a fast track, I guess, to where I am now because it's so over time.
Yeah.
Like, or do we need to even? Like, did we
No,
get
I'm fine. I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we're good. We're going to keep talking. This is just a long whatever. If you're here, cool. If not, you can catch it later. Okay,
Hell
so
yeah.
then I'm gonna catch up to COVID then. So I am working at this office, 2-hour commute. I'm focused mostly on myself. Yes, texting with the guy still. I'm telling you, when I call it the twin flame bullshit, I've seen too much, I've experienced too much. I was tangled in that shit. And when I say I went through time and space and dimensions and everything in between to be together, it wasn't going to happen.
I was there. Not at this point, but I helped.
I was tangled in it.
I helped, like, with healing him stuff.
Bad. Okay, so I'm working. My boss, who was my old landlord, I kind of joke with her. She's kind of complaining a little bit about the people who live there right now in the place that I used to live, because I was her first tenant ever. And these second people were like, I thought they were going to be like you. Tenants aren't like you. I'm like, nope, they're not. So I joked with her. I could go live there again. I mean, I could just rent. Legally, it couldn't happen. But her partner, and they weren't married, he owned the property. So I moved to Tampa. My mom was pissed. Oh, my 3-month temporary job turned into full-time, and just a paper got slid to me. Oh, there's a lot of desperation in there, but I'm not going to go into that. A paper got slid to me that said, you get $1 raise, also you're full-time. I was hired as a contractor. I was making more than the people that went to college there. I was making more than any temp. I got to choose my own hours. I got to come in there as early as I wanted to and stay until 5. So I was there like 5 or 6 in the morning when my boss was there. I was making the money. No, I'm getting there. Yeah, it didn't come with benefits. Okay. I'll go fuck. Something happens, it's $100 copay. No health care, no whatever. I don't care. At this point, I need to get the fuck out of here. When I told my birth mom I'm leaving, she did everything to get me to stay. She tried to guilt me. She tried to shame me. She tried to fear me. She did not want me. Once she had me again in her grasp, she did everything to keep me there. Also, my ex-husband, while I was living at my birth mom's house, he got out of prison at that time. And we were still friends. And when he went to prison, he owned a house, a backyard, a swing set, and 2 kids, and a wife owned, but, had. When he got out of prison, he was living at his mama's house, and divorce was happening. Sorry, buddy. I know we're friends, but
oopsie.
We're not together. That's not happening. Yeah. So Okay. The landlord of that house needed to sell it because of their own stuff. So I had to find an apartment, but I could find one easily because I was living life for me. And right at that time is when COVID was about to start. Also, the TikTok thing started, and I happened to give someone a session for past life, and they talked about it on their TikTok. And then all of a sudden, everybody was getting past life sessions from me. And I was still getting paid to do the office job, no matter how much work I got. So I was making that plus this. So then I had a whole nother crash and breakdown and healing about making money, because I had never done it before. And that fucked me up so much, because I was finally living for me and things were just flooding in, like money, success, happiness. It fucked me up so much because I'd never experienced that before. I broke down. And then I met Kate. Okay, so we're caught up to there.
Yes. Okay.
Met Kate on the phone.
Yes. I also want to point out, because you mentioned pay, and I was like, I didn't mention anything about the pay in Alaska. The pay in Alaska was triple what I had ever made ever. You couldn't not go. Like, quote unquote, you could not go. It was perfect. It would have paid off all my debt. It would have paid off and then some. But also living there was just hellacious. Like the oil, and you have to, like, oil for the heater, water to bathe. Anyway, but it was like why the fuck wouldn't I go? Fucking non-chosen families in another country. They can't stop me. They try to stop me by, like, calling me, FaceTiming me on an app and being like, you're not going. And I go, in front of my Sicilian family, I go, I'm going, shut the fuck up. And then I hung up and then went, and then went there. And then now we're at the COVID time. So I'm back in Louisiana. I'm living in this apartment that I lived in when I moved out for college. So I'm there. Stuff happens. I lose everything. I'm at this new airplane place in Louisiana, and they treat me like shit, tell me that they're going to hire my significant other while baiting me and hating me. They don't fucking like me. I'm the only female, once again. And
she'll be right back. It just paused.
Yeah.
Hating you because you're the only female.
Hating me because I'm the only female. They treat me as if I'm coming on to all of them. Weird as fuck. Again, asexual. Never have expressed any kind of anything.
You're going back, right? Is that correct?
No, I'm going forward. Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm at Louisiana. And so the same shit starts happening again. I'm talking to Kat. All of a sudden they're like, oh, you're like our big sister. All of a fucking sudden. And I'm like, yeah. First, when I started working there, they wouldn't get in lifts with me. Wouldn't get in lifts because I was a girl. I might try to fuck them. Who knows? And then all of a sudden they were like, Kate, can you teach me how to do? Because I was an expert at my job. I'd been doing this 4 years. And so I started teaching them how to do things. Mind you, I'm on the phone with Kat. We're on the phone fucking every fucking day. Every day I'm on the phone with her. Sometimes at work. I am texting her. We're like going at it. We're healing. Like everything's fucking exploding and doing and everything.
The same way that Shaden and Kate found each other and just mutually just enjoyed each other and mutually found something that they liked to do together, and it was fulfilling themselves plus their desires. It was like that. We still didn't fully have a grasp of our relationship, of our friendship. We knew we really liked to talk to each other, and we had those conversations of like, so I really like you, do you really like me? We had that, but we were too immersed in doing what we enjoyed and what was passionate for us with somebody else who enjoyed it. It was passionate for them. And we respected each other, and we were both giving, and we were both like, we wouldn't just call. It was like, are you available for a call? When do you get home? It was very mutual, and any question that was asked was answered directly and cleanly. There wasn't bullshit. There wasn't fluff. Neither of us had ever experienced that kind of reciprocity with anyone in our entire lives before.
It was like this weird thing of like, there's somebody like me. There's somebody like me.
To the point where when she was talking to me, I didn't know much about Asperger's, but I remember having the conversation with her and I was like, am I?
Do I have Asperger's?
Do I have it? And she's like, I don't think so. And then we started to talk about it. I was like, no, that happens to me too. No, that happens to me too. I'm not, guys. I was just like, it was just crazy. There were
so many, the crazy fucking similarities and just everything. Everything was like fucking crazy. So at this point, because it was like a really, we were just so like, I guess on fire, like exploding. Everything was like, we found this thing, we did this thing, we fucking discovered this whole thing.
Didn't even just think discovering, to me.
Learning. Yeah.
Didn't even think to me.
Wasn't even a thing. Like, we were just like, oh my God, we just enjoyed it.
Didn't talk about it. Didn't think about it. Just were living it up.
It was so good. And so things at my job. We both had tons of
energy. She was great at work. She was doing her physical job. She was able to be on the phone the whole time. I was we call it manic posting, but I was posting with you guys. I was telling stories. I was healing. I was telling you what we experienced. I was posting 20-part stories. It was like we were both enjoying ourselves and enjoying each other, and everything was going ding, 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 ding in our lives. And we weren't even like, finally, we were so in it. We had no concept except that one breakdown that I had that was really bad. But that was before I met you, like right before. So,
I'm in Louisiana. They're not hiring my significant other. They're baiting me. Oh, eventually, but because, we're married. So, we might fuck. And then
at this point, Shaden literally, not vocalizing, but literally thinks that his whole life is being ran by Kate. He chose where to live. Himself.
Yeah.
He's not working on himself. He's not getting he's getting side jobs. He's not choosing his own career. He's like waiting for Kate to bring me on. He's not living for him. So even though it worked before when he was living for himself and he got hired, they're not hiring him. They're not bringing him on. He's not living for himself. He is, in fact, sabotaging their relationship. It starts to like get really bad.
Mm-hmm. And so at this point, it's been like a year, and finally I'm like, hey, it's really weird that y'all aren't hiring my significant other because we are married, and I find that really strange because there's people that are fucking in this entire hangar, and they work here. And then, like, I don't know, fucking whatever.
Too raw, too real. Oh. You called their bullshit out.
So that was just very me, though, very calling all this shit out. And then he got hired, and they put him on a different shift, and, like, we never saw each other. Then an event happened, and I was homeless, and I had to move in with my non-chosen family. And that there was no other option.
The only way that she survived it is us healing. The only way. We had basically just started really being friends.
I almost got killed. So moved back to non-chosen family's house. They were constantly in my shit of like, you need to fucking leave here. There was no housing, and the most available housing was 2 hours away because of this thing. Everything there was literally nowhere to go. But they would constantly tell me that I was shitty, wasn't doing enough, as if I chose this, as if I wanted to be here. And I was in my head, I'm like,
family?
Yes.
Put her in a room that was their workout room with boxes and exercise equipment everywhere. It was like not really a room.
Yeah, it was like an attic space, kind of. And then would just every day would just sit there and tell me how shitty I was, and me and Kat still talking, still going at it.
So we went from like everything happening to us, but then there was this awareness of being surrounded and like with people that were feeding off of us. And the more that we grew, then the stuff came stronger. Yep.
So it's like the more it happened, because we didn't know all the things. We weren't aware of all the things. And so, yeah, I had to go back there. And then it took about a year before anything got done. And then one day, again, they had absolutely fucking like, you owe me everything. You're not touching the rest of my house, blah, 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 blah. And so I called around and I was like, oh shit, this is available. Moved out. They were devastated. Devastated. You would have thought that I don't know, killed their dog or something. I don't know. You would have thought that I had done something to them.
Even though they made it seem like they hated her being there.
They hated me. That's my whole life. Whole life was like that. And so, as soon as I left, it was, you mean like, you don't have to do this to me. You don't have to do this to me. Oh, I gotta mention this. Before that, I was living in this, what is it called? House that should not be lived in. It's been like wardened off or whatever. Yeah. My place before I became homeless. And then they were like, we are so sorry, you guys have to leave. So we were living in a hollowed out shell of a house.
She'd rather live there than
go back.
Family's house. Yeah.
And we did that probably for about 6 months. And they were like, we are so sorry, you guys have to go. You have to go. And we were like, oh my fucking God. And so we did. So we lived in like it was a concrete slab. Also, Kate and I were not
talking during this time. There was probably like 6 months, 4 months where we weren't speaking.
A month.
It felt like eternity for me. I was devastated. I had never met anybody like this, and she was gone. It was empty. It was gray-walled. It was gone. She was surviving, if you want to call it that.
Was so bound down because of what was happening. My entire life was destroyed because of this. I was like told a bunch of things about like spirit guides, and so like all of my protection had gone, like everything got. So I was bound down, literally bound. Could not.
She just posted an On This Day video like this week about how someone had basically told her that her spirit guide wasn't her spirit guide, and that he needed to go away or be upgraded or whatever. That there's no way, because nobody saw spirit guides like her, and so she just kind of was like, "Oh, I guess. Oh yeah, sure." And her protection
sent my entire protection away, and so I was bound. And could not, I remember not being able to talk on the phone, not being able to do anything but go to work. And even going to work was like...
She couldn't text. She couldn't anything.
Like, it was like being in someone else's body. Like, it was so odd.
And Shaden and I were not friends at this time, but I had one session with him before, so I had his phone number. And I tried to give her space, which I did, because if someone goes away, I'm not going to just like, hey, like, if they need space, I don't know what's happening to them. But it was very much like, the way we describe it kind of is like, I'm sorry, this person's not available. Like if you energetically would try to tune in, I'm sorry, it was answering machine, energetic answering machine. So I ended up reaching out to Shaden, and I was just like, will you help? Not can you get her to call me? Not can you whatever. I was like, can you help me? And he didn't know how to do this like he did, because he naturally did, like everybody naturally does, but he didn't like... Those muscles weren't flexed yet. He had not developed the awareness of his abilities. I was like, hey, will you help me see a past life where I can heal to help Kate or to help us or whatever? Like, basically, it was like a dead zone signal. Energetically, her soul was not
gone.
There.
It was gone. Like piloting a dead body for an entire month. I couldn't do fucking anything. I couldn't even tell you what went on that month. I have no fucking idea. I just
Even
knew
when she-
everything was gone.
Even when she got back, it was 6 months to a year of panic. And we couldn't just focus on healing whatever. It was Shaden and I basically spent our time keeping Kate alive.
I thought I was going to die. I was so certain. Because I was going to. Didn't know what the fuck it was. And
every time we'd heal something, she'd go, "Was that it? Did we get it all?" And Shaden and I would be like, "I hope so. But we couldn't confidently tell her yes. It was bad. God, it was bad.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Career.
Because I'm starting to... Okay. So, career. That was the word. I got asked to be an inspector during this... Like, after all of that, I got asked to be an inspector. And because of all the knowledge that I'd already had, nobody had this unique knowledge of, like, all of the entire plane.
Inspectors for aviation, and again, these are planes that you would go in when you're going on a trip. It's literally every bolt, nut, every scrap of metal, every fiber of buckle, every piece of that plane, every little piece of the engine, every little switch, every little everything, the inspector inspects. The team of inspectors. And there's certificates. There's like triple, quadruple checking. There's an insane amount. Nobody knew what she knew. So they asked her if she wanted to be it.
So this is all while healing. Again, discussion topic, career. This is what it does, is it just happens. I got approached. It just happened. I was not when about
she
to
decided
be an
she was ready to live again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I was like, oh yes, I'm here. I'm alive. So they approached me, and this is the kind of shit that happens when you heal yourself, heal the world. And they were like, do you like want this? And I was like, I guess. And so I did.
She loved being a mechanic, though. That's why it's a timid, I guess.
I loved being dirty. It was just so good. I love being dirty with airplane fucking grease because, like,
Hell
it was
yeah.
just so good.
Dirty bitch.
Changing the part. Hell yeah. Changing the fucking parts. Hell yeah. And then, I was like, I have to get out of here. I have to get out of this place. I have to get out of Louisiana. I don't know where I'm going to go. But I have to
We were on
fucking
the
get out of
phone
here.
looking at, like, Arizona, California,
Oregon,
Alaska again,
yeah,
Tennessee
Alaska
maybe.
again.
We were still not going Florida. We were like, yeah, Kate, let's get you out of here.
I was like, somewhere where it doesn't, like, none of this happens. This
weather events.
Yes.
And
I
it was like,
it's so
nope,
good.
it happens in Florida, so it can't be there.
And then I think it took like 6 months.
It was it your birthday?
Yes. Yep.
She had the day off. And it was like, why don't you and Shaden come down? Like, she had a couple days off. It was like, why don't you come down here and, like, visit? Just say
like,
hi.
That's a thing. Did not, like, think of that. I was like, I can do that. Like, I can just do that. I can do that. And I did. 2 weeks later, didn't even know about the place I'm employed now. Did not know it existed. And just that's it. Had an interview.
Well, first she came to visit. The first day that she was going to come, she didn't. She didn't end up coming. Then she felt like shit about it because, you know, that's how we have been our whole lives. We're give, and it didn't happen. So then she felt like shit about it. So her and Shaden and their cat Max, actually.
Yes.
Came to visit. They stayed at an animal-friendly hotel in the area. And every session that was booked, I was just like, my friend's in town. And even though I talked about Kate over and over and over and over and over again in every single video, people were still like, who's that? Or didn't even ask who that was. Anyway.
They're just like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. The only person who did not say yes was my current partner, Benjamin. It was his first session. He just happened to save up and book with me while Kate was visiting and declined. He was the only person who declined the double session with her because in his head, he was having a date. He was on a date.
He was on a date.
He was hanging out with me. So once they visited, and we weren't talking too much about it, but one of the trigger points was rain. It was really bad. She would freak the fuck out. She would go to, it was so bad that she would choose to go after work to her non-chosen family's house, which she hated being in because she was terrified. Like it was bad.
And then that's why I didn't go the first time, from what I remember, is because it started raining.
Yep.
And then,
so while she was down here, we drove around. It was downpour. Shaden was like, Kate, are you like, I can't do Australian accent.
Are you okay?
And she's like, yeah, why? And it's like, because it's downpouring outside. Like, it's bad. And she's like, huh.
At this point, by the way, I could not talk in complete sentences. So I'd be like, does the water gather?
No. She would say, do the roads get wet when it rains? And I was like, I don't know how to answer that, Kate.
I didn't know how to talk in complete sentences at this point.
So she came to visit. That's how much I've
healed.
I have some to catch up before your visit.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm working at COVID time, okay? Quarantine, COVID. I have my breakdown. I'm friends with Kate on the phone. I'm talking to you guys. TikTok's happening. I'm reconstructing and relearning how to be a parent. I still have, like in my mind, I'm in a relationship with Casey Ray's dad. I still think he's divorced. He's lying to me about why he can't come visit, why he can't spend the night, why we can't go on dates. I'm believing it because I don't lie, so why would anybody lie? That's weird.
We're also healing it on the phone, like healing his stuff, like
yeah.
All
I was
that.
spending a lot of my time with Kate at this point, trying to heal him, heal for him, heal his childhood, heal relationship stuff. It wasn't just focused on me. It was, and I know this time right now is muddled, this time frame that we're talking in, but it was very much like when we weren't focused on healing ourselves, it was apparent. When we were focused on healing ourselves, it was apparent. It was extreme. So talking to you guys, past life thing opens up. I have to heal because it's career, right? I have to get a planner and write down schedule times. I'm booked up months in advance, months. My pricing was like $111 for 2 hours.
I forgot to talk about that. I forgot to talk about my spirit guide bookings when I lived in Louisiana and how they were just exploding. Anyway, a month behind. Anyway, okay, yeah, you go.
Okay, you go, Glen Coco.
Yes.
So I'm sitting here fucked up about like the office job and then not falling behind with work there and still getting paid by them no matter how much work I did. And then trying to only do like 2 sessions because I would get like burnout energetically from that. And then walking people through past lives. And then I still wasn't confident in what I did. So also I wanted to teach people or help people remember about soul fragments and the importance of it. And because it's online and people were worried about, fraudulence and theft and stuff, I was like, let me spend the first hour walking you through your entire home and feeling energy. And I would literally be on the phone like this, feeling energy and feeling where things were heavy and where they weren't heavy. And like proving myself to them. Cause again, I still had that trauma. It wasn't gone yet. Proving that I was worth them spending the money on. They had already chosen. I wasn't taking payments till after. I still don't on the majority of things because I just prefer it because it's a service, not like an expectation. I was talking to Kate. That was going well. Everything was good. When Kate disappeared, I am now, I don't know if I told you guys I was in the apartment. Yes, I did. I'm in this apartment. I think I'm in this relationship. It's basically me and my middle school child, my elementary school child, and my newborn. Everything shut down. We rehomed 2 cats. It was a 2-bedroom place. We were cramped. I was doing all this like spiritual healing, energy healing, all this stuff. Kate's gone. Kate's gone. It feels like eternity. When she's gone, we were healing world events, hurricanes, tornadoes. We were healing
Fires,
sick.
volcanoes.
We were healing
Cancer.
cancer. We were it was very
life.
bring out your sick. And we weren't, the medical healings and stuff, we weren't charging anything for that. We were literally building a repertoire. We were healing, we were doing the things, we were everything. These were not sessions. My sessions were past life sessions and healing trauma.
We were just doing things.
All the other stuff was free, and we were like helping. That also has to do with career. I still didn't have self-worth. Also, like my own morals and ethics and Christianity background, and well, we can do it, even though it could drain us, and it did. We can do it, so why wouldn't we do it, kind of thing, like self-worth again. So Kate's gone. As soon as Kate's gone, the freeze happens in Texas and Louisiana. And I'm trying to gather everybody, every spiritual the people that I talk to in the spiritual community didn't buy any sessions from me ever. I literally was like, I still didn't know my importance or my value or my whatever, my abilities. I still thought I was the maid, the janitor cleaning up planet Earth. I thought I was the train station that connected the cars. I was talking to all the people that had abilities, right? I was like, okay, you know how to heal the ocean. You're really good at pipes. You're really good at this. It took 20 to 30 of us to try to heal it, and it still was not happening. And I couldn't do it on my own. I still wasn't doing the healing, like that stuff. I thought I needed someone else. I thought I needed a superhero to help me, and that my thing was to help them figure out the puzzles. I didn't know that I could do like the things because I wasn't confident in myself. And I was working with a bunch of people, but they weren't friends, but I thought they were friends. And I was booked up till September, which was like 6 or 7 months. So I was recommending these people because I would have them take me on a past life. If they could do it, I was like, oh, cool, I'll recommend you. I had no understanding that they weren't coming from the same place as me. They weren't coming from the heart. They didn't have a desire to help people heal. They weren't actually trying to help them. They were trying to get wealthy. They were trying to get rich. They had their own agenda that they put on it. And then I was the one that was all of a sudden I was pushing all this work to them. And so they were having success with their whatever. People would book with me after booking with them, and I'd have to fix their work. It was a big mess.
And then years after that too, we had to like fix their shit.
Fix the shit they would do to people.
I'd forgotten about the freeze, and I got COVID. Anyway, I'd forgotten about that shit.
So, fuck. Okay. I think that Casey Ray's dad, my partner at that time, I think that my lease is about up. And if he wants to continue this facade of relationship, then we've got to be moving forward. So I put down, because I had saved up money because the pension office was paying, people were booking with me. So all of a sudden I had a surplus of money that I wasn't really touching or doing anything with. I was giving stuff away too. I was giving shit money fucking everywhere. I was giving it away, and then a check would come in the mail. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I can't even give this stuff away. It fucked me up. It was like, anyway, that time is gone. Anyway, he has to keep up this facade. We're buying a house. Mind you, he's high up working in a bank. But he has no money, and I believed him.
Like white collar type of high up.
Like he's in the office. He's He's got licenses. He's up in like, who runs Chase?
JP Morgan.
He's up in JP Morgan shit. He's like, and he's like,
there.
I don't have any money. And I was like, that's okay, I do.
Dresses
That's okay, I do.
Whole band t-shirts with holes in them.
Yeah, he would put on a uniform of, because I didn't care about that, he would put on old band t-shirts and like literally looking back on it, we ended up seeing all of it. But with career stuff, I put escrow down on a house, $5,000. And then the realtor called me. And the realtor called me right at the very end towards close and went, hey, so his wife's going to have to approve before you can buy the house. What? Where's his divorce decree? Where's the, like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, the divorce is not completely finalized and it's like, it's still in process. And she's not going to approve of that. She's not going to, because she hates you and she hates me and she's crazy. She's psychologically crazy. It's not going to happen. And so because I started doing stuff for him again, all of a sudden my money started to go away and my career stuff started to be weird and I didn't know what was happening. And he still was able to convince me that everything was moving forward and I needed to get a place. And so I was like, listen, if you're not actually moving forward, because he said he was divorcing, if you're not actually moving, even though I lost all this money because of his lies, if we're not moving forward, please tell me so I can get a place that I can afford. I can get like a 3-bedroom place, 2-bedroom place. I could get an apartment. I'm fine with that. Please, eye to eye, please let me know now so that I can take care of myself and my kids. And we got this place. It's 3 stories. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. How many bathrooms? 3.5 bathrooms.
Oh, 3.5, yeah.
3.5 bathrooms. And a very large extra room. It's out of my sustainability price range. But he puts that he's moving in and his kids on the original lease, so I get the place. I don't decorate, which is not me. I don't decorate till he's moving in, because where are the kids? Their bedrooms, where are they going to live? They need to decorate their own space. There's a lot there, whatever. He's not here. Kate helps me. She's just came back. We were helping her heal from her almost dying. I'm just new in this place.
Still dying. Still people are still trying to kill me.
Yes.
But it's still like, we're like, we got to do this shit. We got to get Kat fucking sustainable. Both of us had to be sustainable. Fuck.
So we were basically, even though mine was an emotional thing, we were both trying to help each other live for ourselves. And it was really hard to live for ourselves. Then she came to visit. She helped me unravel that bullshit. She helped me really dig in. She came to visit, and that's when it like really started to unravel. And we really saw what was happening and what he was. And as soon as that started to unravel, the truth that he was still married, had always been married, everything was a lie, it opened up. And I was like, you're married? Bye. That's it. Closed. Done. And that whole thing where people get sucked in and they're like, I don't think I could ever not want to be with this person because that pull is so strong. That's why we know we can heal it, is because I was tangled. And it was done. It was over. It was closed. Didn't look back. Literally didn't look back. Even though I had a kid with him. So Kate comes to visit. And then she was like, holy fuck, why don't we just live there? Next part of the career, important part. This was COVID when no jobs were available anywhere, quote unquote.
So 2 weeks go by. I immediately go back home and
After visiting.
Yeah. Put in I can't remember if I called this place. All I did was Google like where to, or like airport near. No, it was an MRO. MRO. I put specifically MRO, which is like you repair aircraft. I was like, MRO.
There's a lot in this area.
Yeah. And it was like this place. And I was like, oh, okay. It applied. Got a phone call that day. He said, hey, the interview went so well. I was at my current job interviewing, by the way, on the phone. Went outside on the phone. And he was like, hey, so you're going to be hired and we are going to get a job at the very end of this day. And I was like, oh, okay. Things are just lining up.
Because we chose to live and we chose ourselves.
So things are just fucking lining up. What do you mean? I've never had that happen. I'm getting the job and it's going to be at the end of this day and you're calling me and all this stuff. That's crazy. And then he goes to hang up and I go, oh, hey, by the way, I have a significant other who's coming with me too. Like he's going to be in the mechanics or whatever. And he's like, what's his name? Okay. Sounds good.
Didn't even interview him.
2 weeks go by. We live in a hotel for a month before the lease can be whatevered. And that's fucking it. Like, that's it.
Find an apartment.
Yeah. Mind you, the pay is $10 less an hour. I do not care.
Of life.
The quality of life was worth the $10 pay cut. And then it just went up from there.
Also around this time, I'm like establishing my website, scheduling app, so I'm not handwriting everything. I'm actually building like not just my at is Cat and Boots 138. My business now is. I have a business. And then
I have my spirit guide stuff. So back in Louisiana, I started doing...
This is back. We need to go back and talk about the spirit guide thing.
Way back when, spirit guides in Louisiana, I was charging $40 an hour for this huge...
Girl, we were on the phone, and she was just like... Because I knew she could talk to her spirit guide, and I could tune into hers because she was on the phone. And we were just having a casual conversation, healing whatever the fuck, like we normally do. And then she was talking about my guides, and I go, you can see... Not only your guide, you can see my guides? And she's like, yeah, this one looks like this. This one looks like this. This one looks like this. She's talking to them. She's having a conversation. I'm energetically feeling that. And I go, Kate, people would pay you for this. And she's like, really?
That's crazy. What? I thought everybody could do this. And you go,
no, bitch.
No.
No, bitch. They cannot.
I was like, okay. I'll do it by email because, again, could not talk very well. Not
that she wasn't articulate, not that she didn't know the English language, just very autistic.
Very, very autistic. Do roads get wet over there?
When it rains, yes. I don't know how to answer this.
Very autistic. So, big fancy words, knew all the things, that. So, wrote emails, did emails, was so backed up that it would be a month before I could get to the reading every day.
Because as soon as she started doing those, again, not charging what she needed to, doing it just because as she was getting attacked, the thing happened that tried to kill her. It backed everything up and people knew what she was going through and still would be like,
where's my reading? Lost everything in the middle of it.
$40 for a 4 to 6 hour reading.
And I wouldn't refund anyone because I was like, you're right. I need to give you your reading. Yes, you're right. All while going to work, talking on the phone with Kat, healing the fucking world, trying to heal myself.
Dying.
Literally dying. People are trying to kill me.
Homeless.
And also they need, it's been a month. And where's my reading?
She would do the reading and they'd be like, I don't see my angels or my twin flames in this.
Yes.
And she's like, what do they mean? What are they talking about?
Yes, because I had never been in the spiritual community. It was like voodoo community, like witchy kind of, but not really. It was very Louisiana is the best way I can describe it. And so I didn't know what any of this meant. I was like, they're asking for Archangel Michael on the phone.
I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
And I was like, I don't know who that is. I'd like reply back and be like, I don't know who that is, but that's not your guide. Bye.
Your guide is a paperclip. It goes like this when it talks.
And they would just they would be like, oh my God.
Your guide is a guitar.
This. Yes, it goes.
When I ask its name, it goes.
And then I would get replies back, and they would be like, I wasn't expecting this level of reading. I was not expecting.
Detailed as fuck, because she would interview them. Bitch, when I tell you that the guides, they would dress up to talk to Kate.
They would dress up in little suits.
I remember being on a drive, and I was like, can I be on the phone with you while you do your guide reading? Like, is that intrusive? Like, is that okay? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. You can. And I remember we were both, because I couldn't see, I was feeling this robotic character, and she's like, it's exactly like what you said, but he's wearing a tuxedo. And then she looked at it, and she's like, all of them are wearing little outfits. And they'd hear that they're getting a reading from Kate, the spirit guides would dress up to talk to her. They were so excited because they were seen and heard, and not with some bullshit filter. And like for the first time in millennial, someone was looking at them like they really were and asking them, not just telling them, asking them about themselves. Yes. And
questions.
What is your name? Yes. What do you do for your human? What do you want them to call you? Right. Okay.
Why are you talking to me like that? What do you mean?
Drained as fuck. But we figured out later how to get her to not be drained as fuck. But yeah.
So back then, and then people on TikTok were absolutely berating me, calling me like sidekick and like crazy and fucking weird. Because
I had the followers and I spoke about all the things. She was busy as fuck. And then it would be like Cat and Boots and her friend.
Mm-hmm. They would tag me and say that it was me.
They would get our stuff confused?
Yes. Very, very odd treatment. Like, I'm sitting here doing all the work. Cat's doing all the work.
When she came to visit with her cat, she brought her familiar into my house.
Yes, that was so terrible.
Witchcraft. And that's why I wasn't friends with the people that were using me anymore.
Because I had a cat.
Because she had a cat.
So, just very, very odd behavior. And then, like, I ended up doing public spirit guide reading. My account got yeeted.
First, she stopped the spirit guide reading for a very, very, very fucking long time. Because
that was very traumatic for me.
She had to focus on herself again.
Very traumatic and abusive, and my account got yeeted because, again, trying to kill me, trying to whatever it is to shut me up, and that is to kill me. And so account got yeeted.
Because the people that actually could see her and didn't see her as a sidekick saw her as an absolute motherfucking threat.
And that was terrible.
If they still had control over me in some variant, she was just my little playmate. She was just my little friend.
We were just playing toys.
We were just playing
toys together. We were playing little games together, and we had like a little blocks and putting our little blocks into shape.
World events, but whatever.
It was just fucking odd. The treatment I was getting was really fucking odd. And then my account got yeeted, and then I think it took a year. I think I took off a year, and I would just make videos. I would make like really fun videos, and I was still having a great time. But I was like, I don't know if I could do that again.
Also, it was really hard because she had stopped with the spirit guide stuff, with the spiritual stuff. Her thing got yeeted. It was very much like a, don't you fucking dare come back, or it'll happen again.
Yeah, threatening, like...
Don't energetically everything. See what happened to you last time?
Yep.
Don't come back. You saw what happened. So at that time, even though the healing and coming back to life, she came to Florida, she got an apartment, her and Shaden were tired.
All the time.
It was heavy. It was...
My face changed.
Because she wasn't focused on what she loved, it was, again, trauma-based. All of her career, her spiritual work, energy work, her career at work, like with airplanes, very fear, trauma-based.
And so I just kept choosing to live. And I kept choosing myself. And I just kept fucking things that would come after me.
Like literally like white vans.
Like energetic fucking them. I was like, why aren't the white vans touching me? I am fucking the shit out of them. Hell yeah. And then any threat after that, I would just fuck them.
Oh, also when she came to visit my house for the first time, I had told her all this stuff, like, and she had seen it for herself, but we were walking in my neighborhood and she was like, how does that house know my name? They just energetically said my name. They said Kate. And I was like, that is this family that works for the FBI, that blah, blah, blah. She knew the exact department. She's like, them. And then she was like, that equipment there, that confirming every fucking thing that I had felt about this being a government neighborhood.
And I was like, that whole entire corner, can't go over there. Don't want to go over there. That has a lot of shit on it. That's a lot of shit over there. Don't want to do it. And then everything in TikTok and work after...
Oh, yeah. At this, like, Ken O'Malley said, I remember the big bird pelican looking thing, the robotic spy bird that I had. Before I moved in the place I'm in now, I was posting everything that Kate and I were doing. They started surveillancing and they tried to the government tried to take me out. The other spiritual witchy people tried to take her out because they saw she was a real deal. Government tried to take me out because they saw I was a real deal. Yeah. So, yeah.
They would go after my mental, the government, making me believe that I should just kill myself this time. Instead of other things killing me, they were trying to convince me that I need to kill myself. I just need to go ahead.
All of once in here real bad because we're dealing so much stuff.
Aww.
And she's like, 2 hours? Why are you still in there? Are you okay?
And so we just kept digging. Like, hey, I'm having this problem. Kept digging, kept healing.
About a month after Kate came, Ben started to visit. He was, removed for bullying. Yeah.
No, because cancel myself. That's why it was,
because we said the keywords or whatever.
Oh, I see, bullying. Okay.
So Ben is now in the picture at this point. He has visited a couple times. He's healed enough, and he was also trying to escape, so he hasn't healed enough of it completely. But he comes here, and he starts living here, and it's rough at first. It's really rough because we say the things, and you cannot hide from us. And it was 24/7. And Shaden has a breakdown because they're driving 30 minutes to 45 minutes to my house every day after work to have dinner, and everything starts catching up with him. And even though he has a career and he has friends and everybody respects him, he has not healed himself yet in this aspect. And then he chooses the house that they live in, and he still thinks that he's a passenger in his own life, and he breaks the fuck down.
And then chooses this life again after he heals that. Chooses this life again.
Night and day. As soon as he chooses this life, he starts healing like a motherfucker. As soon as he's doing stuff for Shaden, he's healing stuff like a motherfucker. He's also getting promoted at work. He is, like, everybody loves it. As soon as he starts healing himself, again, not what Kate wants, not because I want it, not because of anything, except for Shaden. He starts living for himself, both of their lives. All of the stuff gets lighter. Everything gets lighter. Another key point is not that this is part of it. We both stop. We both stopped talking to our family.
Non-chosen families. I'm able to move closer, so it's no longer a 30, 45 minute drive. It turns into 15 minutes. now it's a 2-minute walk, 1-minute walk
Currently in 2026.
Yep. So
our careers, we've healed enough to basically, this is my full-time career. My spiritual business or my energy practice, can't talk because of the thing that I said.
Yeah.
Clearing it off. Ben is healing himself. So now he is not living in survival mode. He is promotion. He's in the aviation field now. He is moving up in his career. Shaden's moving up in his career. Kate's moving up in her career. My business is opening up. Kate now basically does almost as much as I do with my full-time career. She has energetically had time for it to open up almost as much stuff. So she has 2 jobs. We've healed burnout. We have classes. We create, like all of our stuff, and we've talked about this before, we don't create for money. We create for joy, for healing. We heal every day. We're still healing all the time. In every single guided adventure class that we host, we are healing our stuff. If you have the subscription or you've been to the lives, you know how many times I've fucking cried. It's scary to witness. You've seen us not get along and work through it in real time. You might have even seen her give me brain fucking surgery energetically while I'm like in class. We are healing for us. We are sharing because we want to. And when we help people with careers and our slogans of like heal yourself, heal the world, this is what we're talking about. When you guys don't conceptualize that we're on the other side of it, when we say we're on the other side of it, bitch, we're on the other fucking side of it.
I don't know.
We talk about careers.
Conceptualize it.
That's what
literally.
We're talking about. It's what schedule do you want? How much money do you need plus a little more? Where do you need to heal? Why you don't think you deserve it? What is happening? What trauma is keeping you living in
Why
survival?
do you like it? Yeah. Why do you like it? Why do you like living in survival?
Also, I don't talk about like how much I make. It's not like a huge, I'm not vacationing in fucking Europe. You know what I mean? Like it's sustainable. But the one goal I had back when I was surviving, I now can cross my bills that are due off the calendar before I switched the month over. That was what I wanted when I started focusing on myself. That's a huge thing for me. Especially I had overdrafts fees. I was homeless. That's what I wanted. And of course, open for more. No contracts there.
It's a fuck yeah.
So when we say we love our life and we're walking distance away, we're best friends. We're not just healing with you guys. We're still every day healing stuff for ourselves. Hey, tell me about your day at work. Hey, how did the sessions go? Hey, what happened today? Oh, something happened with my kids. Where's the leak? Where is it happening? Where is this happening? Oh, we mentioned our fucking our non-insignificant family, our non-chosen family, and all of a sudden there's a zit on the side of her mouth, and there was weird comments. We know where that came from. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You will not see us on this live say that, oh, someone's interfering with this live. You will not see us like, oh, we're being attacked.
I'm being attacked.
You will not see us present fear or things that you guys need to worry about without solutions. We do not.
Because we have the solution.
We have the solutions. We do not spread that kind of bullshit because it's bullshit. Nobody heals like we do or talks about what we do because we went into it and did it and lived it. And we don't want you to have to go through that. Our stuff is not like, well, we're the experts, so you should listen to us. It is,
spread awareness.
Let's get you the fuck out of this because I know you can because we fucking did.
We know what you're capable of. So. And we fucking love people. We really genuinely like care. We really fucking care. So
in a way that doesn't kill us anymore. So
yeah. Well,
that's great. Anyway,
Yeah.
This is the first time in a very long time that we've stayed past, and we doubled our time here. So hope you enjoyed. Perspectives actually heal a lot. It brought up stuff for you. It brought up memories. It brought up situations. It brought up times when you were in similar situations or what you were going through that time, which means that you energetically just healed a bunch of timelines. You guys need to go do closings on my page or close up / shine offs on Kate's page. They're pinned. Please go do them, because it copies and pastes what you healed just by living this to all forms and versions of you, spaces, times, dimensions, realms, spaces in between. We're not just bullshitting you when we tell you to go do those. They're free. We're not telling you to book. We're telling you to go do a healing that is free, that is set up because you just healed a bunch.
So fucking heal or don't. But we just told you what we're literally the living proof.
Living proof.
Like, we are the thing. And don't forget to disconnect.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Love you guys.
Fucking love y'all.
Glad we already watched an episode before the fucking podcast tonight, 'cause it's late for us.
Okay. Bye, love y'all. Bye.
Bye, love you, bye.
Thank you.